Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel outside the target demographic. Today I'm going to be showing you a cheap and effective way to carry around a precision screwdriver kit. Let's get started. So I went to my local Dollar Tree and they started carrying a precision screwdriver set that has 14 bits and a screwdriver. Very handy, especially for $1.25. Now the problem with this is the footprint is quite large. We're looking at almost 1.5 inches diameter. It rattles, as I've learned. If this isn't attached and they fall over, they go everywhere. And my OCD goes off with the fact that they give you labels, and if you don't necessarily put it back where it belongs, it becomes a thing. So I've decided to pick up a Tic Tac container. Gives you a couple days of, 50 days of fresher breath anyways. And we are going to go ahead and build our kit around a Tic Tac container. This is going to take up substantially less space. It's going to be much easier to access those bits. It's going to keep everything where it needs to be. This will fit in a pocket. And this can be built for use in your everyday carry kit. I already have built one of these prior for use in my gun range bag. If your firearm sights get misaligned, or your laser gets bumped, or your red dot needs adjusted, or something like that, odds are pretty good that you will have the precision screwdriver bit that you need, and you'll have it with you because it's now in a much smaller to carry container. So to the more keen observers out there, you'll notice we have a bit of a dimensional issue here. This guy is a little long. The nice thing though is the width of the screwdriver is essentially right where we need it to be. There's just the littlest bit of wiggle, which you're going to have rattling anyways with the bits free floating, but should you want, you could put electrical tape around there, which both gives you a little bit of shimming action and also a little bit of electrical tape. But what we're going to run into is we're a little long, and look at that. So our width is correct. We're just going to need to shave it down the littlest bit. So we're looking at, let's see, about a 1/2 inch. So that's pretty handy. We can go ahead and take a 1/2 inch off of this guy, and with my Swiss champ here, let's go ahead and score it. So we're going to start right here. I'd rather go a little long and shave it down if we have to, but I now have my cut notch. And I'm going to go ahead and use the wood file on this guy, or the wood saw, to go ahead and cut that screwdriver down. So using the saw from my Swiss champ, I was able to cut it down. The resin on the, plastic anyways, of the handle got quite a bit thicker towards the center. I actually thought I would be hitting the metal shaft all the way through, but it turned out to be the change in consistency of the plastic there. And then using some sandpaper, I was able to smooth it out a little bit and get rid of the sharper edges. So now it's something that I can still turn in my hand without destroying my hand. So now we have the Tic Tac container. I can put that, you know what, we'll have it with the shaft up. That way it's easier for me to get my fingers around that versus, I guess it really doesn't matter. Kind of fits a little more flush this way, so we'll do plastic up. Plus, that'll fit inside there. We have a little bit of rattle, only that it goes left, right, but we have nothing this way, nothing that way. Not so bad. So now we have our carrier, we have the driver, and the bits. So, may not be the most elegant solution. There you go. Nice and small. You got 14 individual drivers there. You have, I believe, that's magnetic. Yes, so you have a magnetically connecting screwdriver. Well, let's do here. It's now 2 inches, whereas before it was just about 2.5. So we got rid of a little bit of length there. Still gives you about, well, why do I keep doing that? Just over 2.5 inches worth of length with just the driver. Once you have the bit in there, over 3 inches. You can get into up to 1.25 inches deep hole to undo the screws for kids' toys or anything like that. And it all fits in a Tic Tac container that you can add more bits if you need to. You can add security bits if you have them. You can keep some electrical tape and duct tape and other odds and ends in there. Maybe a couple of 2032 batteries. Those are the more likely lithiums you're going to be replacing in watches, and red dots for pistol and handgun optics, stuff like that. But that is a Pocketable precision screwdriver kit with less than $3 spent at Dollar Tree. Pretty good return on investment. So the last thing I decided to do was go ahead and use the exterior as a holder for some tape. So I have some red duct tape. Red's a little bit more tension drawing than the typical silver gray duct tape that you have, so I went with red. And then I went ahead and wrapped some electrical tape around it, and you can see there's several layers. So I have probably 6 feet of both wrapped on this guy. It helps cut down on the noise, and we're looking at just over 2 ounces, about 73 grams on that. Now, this is going to be a little heavier than the kit that I showed you, because in the interim, I have added a couple of 1/4 inch drive security bits that I had laying around. So for those of you who don't know, the security bits are going to be typically a Torx wrench, sometimes a hex, but there is a hole drilled into the center, and that is what makes it a security bit. So if you were to try and use a undrilled, untapped, unholed bit in a security bit, there's usually it would be the inverse of this, right? So in the middle, you would have a protrusion, a nub, a stub that would prevent a standard bit from engaging. By having a security set, I can go ahead and access those devices, or those, I got 5 of them here plus a standard size. I can go ahead and use these in compilation with that is the grandfather clock. Everyone should have one. In compilation with my Harbor Freight icon set. So I'll be doing a video on this, but we're going to go ahead and do a sneak peek. This has, I believe it's 35 different bits. Some of them are the security Torx, as you can see here, the star bits, versus the security Allens or hex. So there's not really any space in here to add these. I don't really care about that, because I can add them to my precision screwdriver set. This helps it rattle less, because you're going to have more items in here, which means less space for them to wiggle and jiggle and make the noises. But this will give you a either standalone screwdriver set or a additional complementary screwdriver set. And again, it's pocketable. It's ideal for a range bag for firearm usage, adjusting sights watches, screwdrivers, all sorts of stuff like that. This has been Outside the Target Demographic. I appreciate your time as always. Leave any questions, comments, concerns in the comments section below. I enjoy hearing from you guys, and I will catch you in the next video.